What's going on, everybody? I am back to finally discuss what's been going on with my hair over the past few months. I know my last video was kind of vague and cryptic, but after I explain to you what's been going on, I think you'll understand where I was coming from. The past couple of months have been just like a whirlwind of uncertainty up until literally like last week. So brace yourself, it's going to be quite an interesting story. So it all started in October. I received an email at the beginning of October letting me know that my loctician would be retiring at the end of the year because she was having problems with her hands, for one, and for she was also going to be going to live in another state. So she said that she would be letting us know who she was referring her whole clientele to. I had mixed feelings about this because on the one side, it's the only person who's been doing my hair for the past 2 years. I don't really trust too many people with my hair, especially with my hair loss. But on the other side, I have hair loss, and it's an issue that hadn't been really addressed. I didn't know how to address it, and I don't feel like I was getting kind of the support that I would have liked to be receiving with this hair loss issue. So this was giving me an opportunity to get a second opinion, because I already wanted to get a second opinion, but this was kind of like a push to get the second opinion that I was supposed to be looking to get anyway. So I tried to keep an open mind about it. About maybe 2 weeks later, I did get the information of the person that I was being referred to. So I wanted to book an appointment as soon as possible so that it didn't, you know, she didn't get too many new clients, because I didn't know if my loctician was sending all her clientele to this person or not. So like I said, I wanted to be proactive in getting an appointment, but first I wanted to look at her work. First thing I noticed, her clientele list, the pictures that I was seeing, most of them on her site were all melanin recessive. The ones who were not Sisterlock were all melanin recessive. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, I'm not knocking it, but it just kind of threw me back a little bit. Another thing I noticed was I saw a comment on her page about something along the lines of, "I'm an official consultant now. Book me for your establishments and your retightnings." And it looked like she had just become a consultant in summer, last summer that passed. And so I'm thinking to myself, that's cool and all, but the issues that are going on with my hair, I feel like I need and I want somebody who is more established and who has a few more years under their belt before I go to them. That's just how I was coming. So I continued to do a little bit of looking. I have a coworker who had just gotten her Sisterlocks installed, and funny enough, she was supposed to be going to my loctician, but my loctician wasn't able to take her on as a client because she wasn't taking on any more clients. I guess looking back on it now, it was because she knew she was gearing up to leave. So she didn't take on my coworker as a client, but my coworker ended up going to another woman, and she gave me that woman's information. So I connected it with this woman, I called her up, and I wanted to schedule a consultation with her. One of the first things she said to me was, you know, that's all fine and dandy. What we do is you'd come in, I'd give you a consultation for the price of $25. I will recount all your locks to make sure you're in good Sisterlock standing with at least 400 locks. I'd make sure your grid is intact, and we'll discuss if I can take you on as a client or not. So I'm thinking to myself, Sisterlock standing, I've never questioned if I was in Sisterlock standing, and this whole a minimum of 400 locks thing was kind of new information to me. I've never heard that before. Well, I heard it more recently in like YouTube videos. I heard somebody talking about how they weren't in Sisterlock standing because they had less than 400 locks, but this is just stuff that I'm just now hearing about. I've never been privy to that information. So when she said that, I'm thinking like, how many locks do I have? I actually didn't remember. I had to go to my old YouTube videos to count to get that information. Come to find out, I started with 384 locks. In my mind, I'm like, okay, 384 is not too far off from 400. No big deal, or hopefully won't be a big deal. So I won't stress myself out and worry myself. I'll just wait to see what she says when I go there for the appointment. So I go for the appointment, and she counts my locks, and she looks at my grid, and she starts off by saying, you know, I just want to let you know that you do have a beautiful head of hair. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus, I don't like how this is about to sound. Like, I feel like there's a butt coming on. And sure enough, comes a big old butt. She goes, you have at the moment 358 locks. And I'm like, dang. Okay, but I started out at 384 and I had hair loss issues. And so she goes, you know, even still 384 locks is very low for your hair density. She goes, you know, I install locks on kids and they have more locks than that. There's no reason why you should have less than 400 locks. 400 is the minimum, but you should have well over 400 locks. Your hair, I don't know who told you your hair had low density, but you have high density of hair. So you should have more locks on your head. And so I'm just, you know, taking it all in and letting her explain to me, because it's the first time that I've actually had a consultant kind of give me this much information about my hair. So she continues looking through my grid, and she actually gives me a mirror so she can tell me the things that, you know, were concerned to her. And she points out locks that are big in the back of my head. She told me some of these locks aren't even sister locks, they're brother locks. Bruh, she actually used the word grotesque in describing my locks. She said they were so big that they were grotesque in some areas. My parts were not in squares in some areas. My parts were rectangles. My hair was not uniform, and I was missing a section of a grid. A whole section I was missing. So she, you know, she made it known to say that she was not bashing my consultant. She said that, you know, that's not her thing. She considers it to be a sisterhood, but she does not feel that my hair was in, you know, proper sister lock standing. She said that she'd be able to put in about, she saw enough areas where she can put in 50 locks or so, but it would take over time. It would have to be over time that she would have to add these locks, and she would have to separate some of my locks. So I'm like, wow, okay. I also discussed with her how I was never really pleased with the fact that my hair always kind of looked unkept. Had how my new growth would grow over my parts. She called it party hair. I thought that was clever. But anyway, how she explained it to me was, instead of adding locks because I have new growth, the new growth was being put into the locks that were already established. So it was pulling my hair into locks to make it fit where they didn't fit. And that's why my parts were not as good as they could be. And over time, that could cause my hairline to recede. And I'm just sitting here thinking, is this why my hair is falling out as well? Because I feel like I was trying everything and I could not understand why I was still having all these hair loss issues. So to know that my hair wasn't in good standing, and part of it probably wasn't my fault, made me really feel kind of relieved. Like, wow, I wasn't bugging. Like, I really was trying to make sure my hair was healthy, and it might have all have been my fault. Hearing all this, I was just relieved, because I felt like it was making sense to me. I felt like I was in a place that made sense to me, and that I was being explained what was going on in a way that I understood. And I was excited to have her get her hands in my hair to repair and reconstruct, which, like I said, she said that she would be able to reconstruct my hair. So we made an appointment for the following week. Funny enough, I had an appointment with my original consultant that next week. And that was going to be our last appointment, because it was going to be the beginning of December. I canceled that appointment. I didn't give a reason. I just said, hey, just want to let you know that I'll be canceling my appointment. And she was like, okay, I understand. Well, good luck with everything, and God bless. And, you know, and I said, you know, same to you, because at the end of the day, I don't have any hard feelings, but I didn't feel like there was anything else that needed to be said. I didn't even feel like there was a need to address her, because she wasn't going to be doing locks anymore moving forward, and there's nothing that she could have done to help my hair at this point. What was done was already done. My hair wasn't right, so there's nothing else to say. Let's just move on in peace. So the next week I did go for a retightening, and I guess when she really got her hands into it and was retightening it, she realized that it was a little worse off than she had assumed it was initially. She told me that there was a whole section of my head with V's in it. A whole section with V's in it. I had holes like in my locks. And she was asking me like, was your loctician in the process of separating your locks? And I'm just like, no, not that I know of. If she was, she wasn't telling me that she was. And she goes, well, feel right here. She took a picture and she showed me. And no, she put me in front of the mirror and she showed me. And she goes, you know, you see how this is a V and this is, you know, a regular lock, and show me the difference. And she said, I should not be able to put my whole finger through your head, I'm sorry, not through my head. I should not be able to put my whole finger through your lock. That's a problem. That's not, it's not going to be able to lock properly with holes in the roots. So typically that style or that method of locking is used when you're splitting your locks. And I was asking her, I said, well, why would these locks over here be split when these are already small? I thought the big ones were, like the ones that are way too big were in the back. And she said, yeah, precisely. So I don't really know what's going on. And she didn't tell you what was going on, so I don't really know how to move forward with this situation. So she ended up just retightening my back and my hairline. She retightened, but she left this section and I think this section untightened, which were my problem areas. She actually ended up taking out the newly installed locks that were in this area, because I had some baby locks there from when my hair grew back from the second time that I had my hair loss issues. But she ended up taking those out because they were entirely too big, and they felt too big too. But like looking back on it, they did feel big. So she took those out and she goes, you know what? I'm not going to retighten this right now. Maybe I'll have you come back before you wash your hair, before your next hair washing, because honestly, I gotta sit and I gotta pray about this. I don't know what to do with your hair. That's what she said. That's what she said. I said, wow, my hair is causing people to pray. This is not good. This is not good. So she took a whole bunch of pictures of my hair, and she told me that she studied under a master loctician. So she took a whole bunch of pictures of my hair. She sent them to me and she said, I'm going to show these pictures to the person who I studied under, and I'm going to see what they recommend, because I honestly don't know what to do right now. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. So a week or two go past and I'm like, I haven't heard back from her. I hope I haven't scared her away. So I did end up contacting her, and I was just like, you know, is it okay for me to wash my hair now? Or like, do you think you're gonna have time to squeeze me in for another appointment? Like, what are you thinking? So she asked to call me, and I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So she calls me and she goes, I didn't forget about you, but I have been doing a lot of thinking about your hair, and to do reconstruction on your hair is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. It's just going to be a lot. So I think that it may be best for you to cut your locks off and start over again. I had braced myself to hear this, so I wasn't like distraught or anything. Like if it was the same time like last year or 2 years ago, I might have been like in a worse off place. But because I knew that my locks were like, after I had that consultation and I realized everything that was wrong with my hair, I kind of didn't really like it that much anymore, because I've always liked my hair, but and I never was comparing myself to other people per se, but I could look at other women's sister locks and theirs didn't look like mine, and I wanted to think like, oh, maybe my hair is just different, maybe it's just unique, but I don't know, I couldn't really talk myself into thinking that. It's just, I didn't have the head of hair that I wanted. So I was already thinking to myself before she told me like I might have to cut my hair that, hey, maybe I want to cut my hair. Because I had, oh, this is the part that I skipped. When I was asking her when she was saying I didn't have enough locks on my hair, that I should not have anything close to 400, I said, if you were to have done the install on my head, how many locks would you have gotten on my head? Just give me an estimate. Oh, she goes, oh, I would have got you probably 600, at least in the upper 500s. But you would have had like 600 locks or so, because you have a full density, like you have good density hair, and I don't know why anybody's telling you that you have low density hair. So I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. I could have had full hair with like large volume, and that's, I think those women who have locks that just have so much volume are just I just love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And to know that I had the opportunity to have those and that was kind of taken from me, like I said, it's kind of frustrating, but I'm relieved to know that I can still get that. So she said, well, I'm going to talk to my master loctician, and I'm going to see what she says about it. In the meantime, I also sent pictures to my aunt who lives in Atlanta, and her loctician looks at them, and her loctician basically says the same thing, like, you should probably cut those locks off. I don't know why your new loctician hasn't already, you know, told you that you should cut them off, because those locks, you need to cut them off. You're still young, your hair will grow back, but it's going to, in the long run, be a better decision for you just to start over right now. So I'm like, okay, like I said, I'm not attached to it. It's okay. I'm not crying over it, you know. So my new loctician called me back and says that she spoke to the master loctician, and basically everybody is saying the same thing. All these women are saying the same thing. Girl, you need to start over. These women don't even, like, well, the one in Atlanta doesn't know the rest of them, but they're, you know, they're not in the same circle, and they're all saying the same thing. Like, your locks are not in good condition. These are not of sister locks. These are not of our typical guidelines, and you would have a beautiful set of hair, a beautiful set of locks if you just start over again. So I'm like, all right, that's what it's going to be then. I'm going to start over again. So that's what's been going on with me. I went on vacation like maybe 2 weeks after I got that information that it would be best to cut my hair and start over again. So I didn't start taking out my locks until maybe a couple, I started taking out my locks on Sunday. And y'all, it's hard, okay? It's hard taking these locks out. I think I was taking them out for 5 hours. Well, I had my mom help me, and she I want to say she was doing most of the work only because she was having the most success. But we were both picking out those locks for like 5 hours, but she got out a large amount. I got out like maybe 4. She got out like maybe 30. And so this is what, like, I got my 2-strand twists in there now. My optician told me that she wants to cut my hair down to 4 inches so that I can restart them, and I feel like that's what's going to have to happen anyway, because that's how high I gotta cut my locks to start picking them out. Like, it is so hard. Like, I might make a video to show the process of me taking my locks down, like at least a couple of the locks down. Like I said, I already started. Maybe I'm gonna show y'all what I already did, because I already cut them. Well, I cut the ones in the back. I didn't cut the ones in the front yet. I'm trying to leave the appearance like I still got hair for a little bit longer. It's cut so short. Oh my gosh. Sheesh. So short. Whew. My neck is cold now. So I got these locks back here that I took out. I took out like I think this whole back row I took out. Well, my mom took out. Shout out to Gwen. Took out this whole back row. And well, I took this out by myself. Took out this section here. And my new appointment, my new installment date is going to be January 17th, 18th, and 19th. But she said that she probably won't use the 19th as well. She just wants to have that extra cushion of a day just in case. So that's what we're doing. And I think the most annoying part about this whole process, besides taking out all these locks, is just having to explain to everybody over and over again what's going on with my hair, because, you know, they're seeing that my hair is different now. Like, my hair is shorter, and it's not, you know, it hasn't been retightened in a while. It hasn't been fully retightened in a while. And to know that I'm going to have my hair, I'm trying to fix myself, look at this. To know that I'm going to have my hair back in like stage 1 and 2 phases, and everybody's going to be asking questions like, what happened to your hair? What did you do that for? And it's annoying to have to talk about it. I think that's one of the most annoying parts. But other than that, like I said, it is what it is, because my hair, I felt like my hair did grow a lot in the past 2 years. I'm not worried about length actually at all. I was fine with actually when I when I was seeing how hard it was to take these locks out, I was ready to shave my head. But my mom was like, don't do that, because then you're gonna have nothing to retwist. So I was like, all right, so we'll try to get it out before the 7th without me cutting it. But like I said, the length wasn't really about anything for me, because I know it's going to grow back, and I know that when it does grow back, it's going to look more like how I expected it to look in the beginning. So I'm happy about that. Another thing that's kind of annoying is that people, well, I won't say it's annoying, but something that just keeps I'm seeing a repetition with is everybody saying, oh, if I was you, I would say something to your old loctician. She needs to know, you need to tell her. Actually what happened was she ended up texting me, and she told me that she was going to be in town. So she was asking me if I needed anything, if I needed like a retightening or anything, you know, to help out since she was coming into town. And I felt like, okay, this is a golden opportunity, because now I found out that I have to cut my hair, and she's asking me if I need anything, or, you know, and I'm just like, this is perfect timing for me to just let her know what's going on. So I politely just told her, you know, hi, I appreciate you reaching out. I just want to let you know that I'm actually going to be taking my locks down, because I was told that my locks are too big. I was told that my grid is wrong, and I don't have enough locks on my head. So, you know, no, I don't need anything, but I just wanted to let you know what was going on with me, since you were the one who established my hair. So she calls me, and she's like, did you take your locks out? And at this time, I hadn't taken my locks out. And I say, no, I haven't taken my locks out yet. And she's like, oh my God, Danielle, please do not take your locks out. Like, she was begging me, don't take my locks out. And she was like, you got to understand, like, this, what's going on right now, like, your hair has suffered a lot of trauma with the hair loss. And so this new loctician isn't going to know that you had problems with your with hair loss, and she's not going to know that that these locks were done big because they were just me trying to put locks in your head just to have locks in your head, and to just have, you know, the hair locked, and I was going to separate them, but that's a process. And in my mind, I'm thinking, my new loctician doesn't know that, but neither did I. You could have told me what was going on and why I had these grotesque locks in my head and these plans to separate, especially knowing that you were retiring. You knew I was going to be going to somebody else, so why wouldn't you tell me everything I needed? Why would you not equip me with the information that I needed, so that when people tell me that, oh, this is not right, I can say, oh, yes, it is right, because I kind of was just out there looking stupid and confused, which I didn't like. I didn't like finding out what was going on with my hair from somebody else. So I didn't say nothing. I just, you know, let her explain herself and say like that. I think that if you take your hair down, she's like, of course it's going to be your own decision, but I feel like if you take your hair down, it's going to be, it's not going to be it's not going to be the best decision for you. It's not going to be in your best interest, because keep in mind, her shop was in her home. She had an official shop, but it was attached to her home. So she was saying, you know, people who are not doing locks out their home, or who did not create a shop in their home like I did, they're gonna have a cover charge. So they're going to want to charge you more. They're going to they get more money with the more locks you have on your head. They get more money with the new establishment. It's just a gold mine for them, for you to take your hair down and start it again. So I don't think that you should do that. And I was thinking, and she also said, and if it's the person who I referred you to, she just started doing locks, so I don't think that you should listen to her. And I'm just like, but you referred me to her, you was trying to send me to her, and now it's like, don't listen to her. So like I said, I didn't say anything. I just was like, okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. All right, thank you for, I appreciate you reaching out and giving me that information. But in my mind, I was just like, I didn't feel the need to argue any of this with her, because like I said, my decision was already made. I wasn't comfortable with my hair, so this is something that I felt like I needed to do so that I'm happy with my hair. So that's what I planned on doing, and I didn't feel like she had credibility anymore. And I don't want to sound like I'm bashing, because I'm not bashing. Like I said, this is the person who I built up a business relationship with, a business rapport for the past 2 years now. I have nothing but love for her, and I'm sure that she did not do what she did out of malice. She just maybe didn't do what was best for my head. Like I said, if it was a year or two ago, maybe I'll be mad, but I'm not mad. It is what it is. I'm more so relieved that I'm going to get the hair that I wanted. With all that said, I'm very excited about what's to come. You know, I'm not upset like you would think I would be. Everybody, I feel like everybody is so upset for me, but it really just is what it is. And you can't go crying over spilled milk, so I'm not going to waste any time or any tears on hair follicles. Like, it's going to grow back. I'm not worried about it, and it's going to be lit when it comes back. All right, you're hearing it first. You're hearing it here. You're hearing it now. My hair's going to be dope. All right, when I get this new install, and I'm very sure that I'm going to love it, because I really like the consultant that I go to now. I feel like she's very, very dope, and she's got a good energy, so I'm excited to continue to work with her. My friend Jaleisha is also going to this new loctician that I'm going to now, and also my aunt, and also my mom. Y'all, my mom's story is even worse than mine. I had 350 locks on my head when my new loctician did the count. My mom had 310 in her hair. 310. But mind you, she had just gotten her locks done like maybe two months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago. So she ended up taking her locks down, and she's getting her new install a week after mine. And she's getting her new install a week after mine. And she was actually given a partial refund. So I thought that was kind of cool, but I didn't even ask for a refund. Like, my loctician asked me, like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want me to do? And I just was like, I don't want you to do anything. It's fine. And I meant it. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. But Jaleisha's hair was actually good. Jaleisha's hair's got really good reports. Nothing was wrong with her head. I'm actually very happy that she got a good report, because I referred her to the person who did her hair, and I would have felt terrible if she would have got a crappy job done and it would have been my fault. So I would have felt partially responsible, even though it wasn't my fault. But in any event, you know, it shows that, you know, my former loctician is able to do hair correctly, but for some reason I just got the short end of the sticks. But like I said, it is what it is. Won't cry over spilled milk, but I am excited moving forward with what's going to happen next. And as always, I will do the best job I can at keeping you guys updated. I feel like I did pretty okay. I didn't take too long to come with a new video, considering that, like I said, this is still a evolving story. Like, if you guys have any questions, as always, you know, you can let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know, if it was y'all in my shoes, what would you do? Would you take your locks out and start them again? Would you just work with the ones that you have and just love on them anyway? Or would you pay the extra money to have them reconstructed and done better? Would you cuss out your former consultant? What would you do? Let a sister know. I'm interested. This is the longest video I've ever done. Oh my god, look at the time. Okay, I'm done talking. All right, my next video is either going to be me taking my hair out, or hopefully my new install. So we'll see.